Hey guys, Alex here. Thank you so much for joining me for today's full body Pilates session. This is a full length Pilates class. We're going to be warming up, cooling down, sculpting our abs, arms, glutes, and thighs, targeting all the major muscles. You're going to feel incredible after completing it. I'm going to be throwing on a set of ankle weights for some of the lower body work, and I'm going to be cuffing the ankle weights over my hands for some of the upper body work. The ankle weights are optional. You can do this entire workout with no equipment and still get in a great burn. If alternatively you'd prefer to hold on to a small set of hand weights for the upper body work, that is an option too. So with or without equipment, we're going to be getting a great burn on today. You're going to feel great, so let's dive right in. We're going to start off in a kneeling, a cross leg, or a standing position. If you're standing, you've got your feet hip distance apart. We're going to place our hands on our abdominals and really focus on stacking each of the individual vertebrae, one on top of the other. Shoulders are down, neck is long, chin is parallel with the floor. We're going to breathe in through the nose, filling the back of the rib cage, and then slowly exhale through the mouth, letting the rib cage deflate. Inhale and exhale. Breathe the air out of the lungs, relaxing your shoulders as you do so. In through the nose, filling up those lungs, and then slowly exhale through pursed lips, controlling the flow of the breath. Good. Now we're going to add core engagement. So we're inhaling, relaxing the abdominals. And then as we exhale, we're going to draw the belly in toward the spine, maintaining that nice tall posture. In through the nose. And exhale, contracting the core, imagining a corset tightening around your waist. Inhale, relax the abs, and exhale, breathe the air out of the lungs. And as you do so, keep the belly button contracted through the entire range of that exhale. Nicely done. Remember to contract the core on the exhales as we move. Okay, from here, we're going to continue to warm up the body. We're going to start with the neck joint. We're going to look to the right, circle the chin down across the chest, and then look over to the left. Inhale here, and exhale over to the right. So we're circling from side to side, working through any stiff areas as we lubricate the neck joint, rolling that chin from side to side, feeling the stretch to the side and the back of the neck. Feels really good. And last one. And bring the gaze up and to center. Now we're going to lower one hand down to the mat, reach up and over, lower opposite hand down, reach up and over. So we're reaching from side to side here, lengthening from the hip all the way out through the fingers as we start to mobilize the spine and the shoulders. Good, reaching and stretching, drawing energy into the body, breathing out to lengthen through those fingers. Good, let's go 3 and 2, reach a bit further, and final 1, and restack the spine. Now we're going to rotate. So we're taking the hands on either side of the head, elbows are nice and wide. We're twisting to one side, rotating, keep the hips facing forward, and then twist to the other side. Good. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling as we rotate around the thoracic spine. I want you to keep your posture really tall as you rotate and focus on keeping your chin parallel with the floor so that your neck is in line with your spine. We're going to add the arms, so come to center, lift the arms, and then twist. Arms up and twist to the other side. So adding some shoulder mobility into the spinal rotation. Good. And up and over for 3 and 2 and 1, and back to center. We're now going to move into an all fours position, coming to the top of the mat. We're going to stretch the right leg back and then flex through the heel. Come forward, shoulders over wrists, and then stretch back through that right heel. Forward and then push back, lengthening through the back of the leg. Good, let's take one more. And then lower the knee, switch sides, stretch back through that left heel and shoulders over wrist. Stretch back, feeling length through the entire back of the leg. Good. And mobilizing the ankle joint here as well. Let's take one more. Then we're gonna hold with that foot flexed. Bring the palms below the shoulders, step back into a plank. Flexing through both heels, nice flat line with the body. Draw your navel in toward your spine, lift up into a downward dog. So we're piking those hips up nice and tall, nice and high. We've got a bend in the knees as much as needed to get that lift through the hips and flatten out the upper back, feeling stretch and a stretch and a lengthen through the spine. Head hangs between the shoulders. We're gonna pick that right leg up, stretch, and then tap the right toes down. Pick up and stretch and lower down. Let's take three more. Lengthen and lower for 2, and tap those toes down. Last one, lift and lower down. Good. Find that good form in your down dog. Flatten out the upper back. Reach and stretch up through that tailbone, and then lift the left foot up and tap the toes down. Lift and lengthen. Nicely done. Let's go 3 and 2. Breathe out to lengthen. And final 1. Amazing. Now we're going to hold here in our downward dog and just pedal out the heels, drawing alternating heels down to the mat, feeling that stretch, mobilizing the knees here, continuing to lengthen through the spine for 3 and 2 and 1. Level out the heels, lower your knees down. And then from this position, we're going to bring the knees nice and wide and stretch into a child's pose. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth for 3 and 2 and 1. Amazing work. We're going to start off with our lower body work. So I'm going to put my ankle weights on. Again, these are optional. So if you haven't got ankle weights or you'd prefer to do this weightless, body weight resistance when doing Pilates is still really challenging. So we're gonna start down on the side body. I'm on my right side, left leg is on top. I'm supporting my head on my hand, or you can be on your outstretched arm, whatever's more comfortable. Let's bring those feet forward so we're in a pike position, and put the opposite hand down on the mat for support. We're going to start off with some leg lifts just to really start to activate the thighs and the glutes and the hip muscles on this left side. So we're coming up and lowering down. So with or without weight, I want you to move with resistance. So really pressing your leg down and lifting it with control. So we're not swinging the leg. We're moving with purpose and intention, really focusing on the muscles doing the work to lift and lower that leg. Inhale to come up and exhale to lower down, drawing your navel in towards your spine as you do so. Let's take 4, 3, 2, nicely done, and final 1. Now from here, we're going to tap the leg in front and tap the leg behind. Tap in front and tap behind, drawing a rainbow in the air with that top leg. Coming up and over with energy, drawing a nice big arc, trying to keep that lower leg as still and stable as possible as you move. So you're really anchoring down through that lower leg. Good work. Let's take 5 and 4. Come up and over for 3. Relax those shoulders. And 2. And final one, we're gonna hold in the middle. So from here, we're going to go into the leg lifts again, but we're coming up and lowering to shoulder height, coming up and lowering. So you're keeping that leg suspended in the air. Good, as you come up and over, or sorry, up and down. Lifting up and lowering down, holding that leg, and then lifting it back up. So you should really feel the burn starting to build in the outer thighs, in the glutes, in those deep stabilizing hip muscles as you lift and lower. Core needs to be really tight here so that you're not rocking around in the torso. Good, let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it there. I want you to really point hard through those toes. Find as much length in the legs as possible, and we're going to pulse that top leg. Good. Pulsing that leg, slow and controlled pulses, keeping that leg suspended in the air. You're doing so well. This is a really burny start to the workout, super spicy, but I'm feeling it in the glutes and thighs. We're getting the work done. You're doing so well. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Nicely done. Now I want to make sure that we target our inner thighs. Again, this can be quite intense with the ankle weight, so if you've got weak inner thighs, feel free to take off the ankle weight for this. We're going to go into the regular leg lifts to start off with. So we're doing a similar series that we did with the top leg on the lower leg, focusing on the inner thigh doing the work. So lifting up, leading up with that, the inside of the foot and the inside of the thigh. I've got this top leg in front of me, but if you'd prefer, it can also go behind, whatever's more comfortable for your body and gives you that range of movement that you're looking for with the lower leg. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. Whew, inner thigh on fire. Now we're going to tap the leg forward and tap the leg back. So we're drawing an arc with that lower leg. It's a smaller range of movement than that top leg had because the inner thigh can't quite get that same lift. Working to get that leg up and over from one spot to the other, drawing that little arc in the air, feeling the burn. Inner thigh should be really fired up at this point. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Oh my goodness. Let's go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, rather than doing those half lifts, we're gonna skip right to the pulses. So I'd like you to lift your leg, point through your toes, a nice long lean leg as we pulse up. Breathing as we pulse. Oh my goodness, these are tough, but it's the final move for the inner thigh work on this side, so stick with it. Let's go 8, 7, 6, lift a bit higher. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew, okay. Let's swing the legs around as gracefully as possible and get into position to work the other side. So, oh my gosh, my cheeks are on fire. Normally I put my glute and thigh work sort of in the middle of the workout. I don't normally start off with it, but I'm kind of liking this. Let's just get it done. Okay, so we've piked the legs forward. We're supporting the head and the hand. The opposite hand is down on the mat. All those checkpoints are in place as we start waking up the muscles, the outer thigh and the gluteus medius, as well as those calf muscles and hip muscles on the right side. Good. Lifting and lengthening. The toes are pointed. That lower leg is really switched on too. That'll help with stability. The core is engaged as we breathe out. Let's go 4, 3, press that leg down with resistance. And final 1, good. Now we're doing the tap in front and the tap behind. Really anchor down for this one because you don't want to be sort of rocking around like this. It's a lot more effective if you're stable through your torso. That'll allow you to really specifically target the lower body muscles. I find that when I'm engaging my core here too, I'm getting a good oblique workout as I'm lifting up and over, which is a real added bonus, sculpting your waistline as well as those outer glutes and thighs. Feels really good, feels really challenging. Relax your shoulders as you move. Lift up and over, moving from side to side. Let's go 4, 3, keep those toes pointed, 2, and final 1. Nicely done. Okay, now we're lifting the top leg up, pointing through the toes, lengthening through the legs. We're doing those half lifts. So you're lowering to shoulder height and then you're picking that leg right back up. Good. Really focusing on stability here, core engagement. I can even feel this work in the calves. You'll feel it. The more in the calves, the more your toes are pointed. So make it count so that all your leg muscles are active. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pause it there. Okay, let's get these pulses done. Pulsing. Engage the core. Focus on your stability. Focus on length through the leg. Breathe through it. Intense. Let's go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh my goodness, I'm glad we get to give that top leg a bit of a rest. Let's move it out of the way, either in front or behind the body, and focus on the inner thigh. So we're going into our leg lifts here, focusing on squeezing and contracting the inner thigh to get that lift. Good. Squeeze and lift, squeeze and lift. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down. Now we're going forward and backward, drawing that arc in the air with that big toe. Relax your shoulders. That is a reminder to myself as well to keep those shoulders relaxed so that I'm not tensing up in the upper body as I focus on the hard work happening in those thighs. Breathing deeply in through the nose and out through the mouth. The breathing helps. Good. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, and final 1, and back to center. Woo, okay. Moving into our pulses. Lift, engage the thigh. Squeeze that inner thigh with every pulse. Let's go. Good work. Lift a bit higher if you can. Let's go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax it down. Oh my goodness, my thighs are shaking. Okay, from here, we're just going to have a quick stretch. So I'm going to walk my hands out in front, take my knees nice and wide. I'm going to keep my hips elevated and just stretch and lengthen through the spine and just sort of open up in the hip area a little bit here. before we move into some other glute moves. This time we're going to be focusing on the gluteus maximus. So I started off with my left leg working, so we're going to switch back over to that left leg. I'm coming right to the top of my mat, so I've got room to stretch my legs out behind me. I'm going to stretch that left leg out long. I'm going to lift the left leg, and I'm just honestly going to start with some little micro pulses. So I want you to focus on stabilizing as much as you possibly can. So focus on not moving around in your shoulders, keeping your hips level, squeezing your glutes and your thighs, your hamstrings here. Lengthen out as much as you can through that big toe so your leg is long and straight. And with all those checkpoints in place, I want you to really focus on activating the booty, activating the thighs. These slow little pulses are a great way to do that. Let's go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now that we've kind of switched our mind and our attention to the gluteus maximus doing the work, we're going to bend at the knee, touch the knee down to the floor and kick out. Touch the knee down to the mat and kick out. Now I quite often like to come down onto my forearms for this move. You can stay up on your palms if that's more comfortable for you. If you're on your forearms, you're keeping your shoulders away from your ears. Tap and kick out. Tap and kick out. Good. Full extension of the leg before tapping that knee back down. You're doing great. Let's go 5, 4, 3, abs in for 2, and final 1. We're gonna hold it here and we're gonna pulse. Back to those little micro pulses. Finding that length through the spine, through the leg, pulsing it out. Keep that leg elevated. You're doing so well. I know these burn. My hamstrings are really on fire right now. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it there. Flex your foot. Pull your heel to your bum. Hamstring curls. Again, if you want to come back up onto your palms, you are welcome to do so, or you can stay down on your forearms. Just make sure your elbows are below your shoulders or your wrists are below your shoulders if you're in your all fours position. Good, nice tight core. Breathe out as you pull that heel to the bum. Focus on contracting the hamstring for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold, and then pulse that heel up toward the ceiling. Final move here from this position. Focus on squeezing your glutes, activating that booty with every pulse. Good. Breathe through it. I haven't worked my glutes in over a week and I am feeling this. Good. We're doing great things for those lower body muscles. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's stretch out in a very well-deserved child's pose. Breathing deeply in through the nose and out through the mouth for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew, needed that stretch to regroup before doing the other side. Okay, so we're in our all fours position. We're extending the right leg out long. We are squaring our shoulders, squaring our hips with the mat, engaging that core, lifting that right leg. Breathing deeply, going into those tiny micro pulses with our focus being on complete stability through the trunk. Lengthen through your neck, broaden across your shoulders, and squeeze the glutes and thighs on that right side. You're doing so well. Loving that stability, isolating that work in the lower body. Good work. Don't compress the lower back. Keep the tailbone slightly tucked for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now from here, we're going to keep the leg extended, stay up or come down, and we're going to tap and extend. Tap and extend. Try not to lean over to your left side. You want to keep yourself really balanced across your shoulders and hips and focus on a full extension, a powerful kick out. Good. And push out. Good. Let's go 4 and 3 and 2 and final 1. Holding it there. Lengthen through the spine, lengthen through the leg. Back to those little micro pulses. Moving with utmost control. Pointing through the toe. I want you to point hard through those toes. Good. Let's go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold, flex the foot, pulling the heel to the bum. Staying down on those elbows or coming up onto those wrists, or palms rather. Contract the hamstring. Pull the heel to the bum. Good. Let's go 7, 6, pull your navel in towards your spine. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold and pulse that heel up, maintaining the bend in the knee, keeping those hips square with the mat. Try not to drop the head here. Keep the neck in line with the spine. Lift that heel a bit higher. Squeeze the booty. Let's go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 2, and 1. Oh my goodness. What just happened there? That was really intense. I feel like we targeted our glutes and our thighs from every angle. You should be really proud of yourself for completing that segment of the workout because it was not easy with or without the weights. Okay, from here, we're going to bring ourselves up and I'm gonna remove the ankle weights, which is gonna feel really nice. Take a couple of deep breaths and I'm going to make these into cuffs for my hands. Again, if you don't have ankle weights, you can do it weightless or you can hold on to a small set of hand weights for these moves. I'm going to perform a lot of these exercises from a kneeling position. Don't feel like you have to do that. If you don't feel comfortable kneeling, you can also sit with your legs crossed, or preferably you can stand with your legs hip distance apart. In fact, that's really good form when you're doing upper body work. Okay, so I'm sitting up or standing up really nice and tall. Posture is very important for all of these exercises. I'm going to start off with my hands outstretched at shoulder height, palms are facing in, and we're just going to lift and lower those arms, slicing long fingers through the air. So if you're not using weight here, you're gonna be moving with resistance. So imagining the air as being really thick or sort of that you're pressing up and down against something. So you're focusing on lengthening through the arms and really switching those arm muscles on. Shoulders are working here too. Gaze is straight ahead. And yes, my core is engaged because that'll prevent me from sort of flopping around. We want to be super stable here, working that core strength, working that upper body strength. Good. Lengthening through those fingers. Can already feel my arms working hard, and we've only just started. You're doing great. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. Bring the arms down. Now from here, we're going to bring the arms back up. We're going to turn the palms so they're facing down to the floor, and we're going to repeat that movement. This time, palms pressing down toward the mat. So the fingers stay long, the neck stays long, the shoulders stay down away from the ears. Focusing on lengthening up through the crown of the head. Good, and maintaining that beautiful posture as we press up and down with the palms and the backs of the hands. Good. Remember that length through the neck, really important. You don't want to strain your neck while you're performing these exercises. Giving it a lot of energy. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Now from here, we're going to pull back on that right side, pull back on that left side, alternating, keeping the arms at shoulder height, looking back over the shoulder if you have the mobility in your neck to do so, pulling back but keeping those hips facing forward. Even just the act of holding the arms up feels challenging right now, but as you pull back, try to do so with energy. So you're sculpting your upper back muscles and your shoulders. Good. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna float the arms down for a moment. Give the shoulders a bit of a roll. And then we're going to hinge slightly forward, creating a nice flat back. We're gonna lengthen up, palms facing down, and then pull elbows down. Lift and pull down. Lift and pull down. Good, lengthening up through the crown of the head. Imagine like a piece of wood on your back, resting on your back. You've got that nice flat back. You're not arching as you pull back. Good, you're knitting your shoulder blades together. Right, now we're gonna add something to this move. We're gonna pull down, straighten the arms, and lift. Pull down, straighten the arms, press the palms up, and then lift. Pull down. So you're pulling down, straightening the arms, pressing the palms up toward the ceiling, and then repeating. Now I want you to really try to keep your palms, or your arms rather, parallel as you perform this movement. So you're working your upper back muscles and the backs of the arms as you push the palms up. If you need to slow this down a little, like so, to feel those muscles working, then please do so. It's not about how many reps you get done, it's about the quality of the reps. Good, let's take 5 and 4 and 3. Let's go 2 and final 1. We're gonna hold with the arms pulled back. Lengthen through that spine, lengthen through those fingers, palms facing up, and pulse those arms up toward the ceiling. Keeping those arms pulled back behind you. Try not to let them splay out to the sides. Focusing on the triceps doing the work as you pulse those palms up. Good work. Keep pulsing. Lift a bit higher. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Focusing on the triceps, mind-muscle connection. Lift those palms higher. Keep pulsing. We're going for 10, 9, 8, 7. Abs in. 5, 4. Lift higher. 3, 2, and 1. Hold it there. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Okay. We're going to move into an all-fours position. I'm just going to take a moment here, hands on the shoulders, to roll out the shoulders a little bit before we switch gears. Okay, from here I'm going to put my ankle weight just on my left hand. It can go on your wrist if that's more comfortable for you. And I'm putting my wrists below my shoulders and my knees below my hips. Now from here I'm going to extend the left arm out long and extend the right leg. Now from here I'm going to lift and lower. Now if you're losing control and you're finding it hard to balance when you do this, I want you to lift your leg and then lift your arm. Lift your leg and then lift your arm. If you're feeling stable, you're gonna lift arm and leg together. Okay, so we're lengthening through fingers and toes. We're lifting the arm up to shoulder height and no higher. So we're keeping those shoulders level. The neck is in line with the spine and the core is tight as we lift and lower. Great work. Let's go 9, 8, 7, 6, really focusing on contracting that shoulder with every lift. 3, 2, and 1. Hold. You can lower your knee down for stability or keep the leg elevated, and we're gonna pulse that arm up. Good. Little controlled pulses here. Really getting deep into the shoulder. Let's go 10, 9, 8. Keep lengthening through those fingers. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower that ankle weight down. Position your wrists so they're below your shoulders. You can lower the leg or keep it lifted. Lower the chest between the hands and push up through the heels of the hands. Lower, keeping the elbows close toward the side of the body, and lift. Lower and lift. Good. Lower. Tricep push up through the heels of the hands. Good. Keeping that neck nice and long. We've got 3 and 2 and final 1. Amazing work. Quick stretch back. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth as you lengthen the spine. And now we're going to repeat that sequence with the ankle weight or the weight on that right palm. Now I'm going to extend the left leg out long. Remember, you're alternating arm and leg, or you're lifting together as you breathe out, really contracting the glute and the shoulder with every lift, focusing again on that trunk stability, so engaging the core as you lift up. Good. Amazing work. Really nice focus and concentration. Really nice stability. Amazing. Finding that balance through the body. We've got 4 and 3 and 2 and final 1. Hold it there. Lower the leg as needed and pulse that right arm up. Getting deep into the shoulder. Keep the neck long here. Keep the gaze down on the mat. Good. Let's go 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the weight down if you're using it. Position those wrists below the shoulders and lower into your tricep push-ups. Good. Keep the spine really long here. You're doing so well. Let's go 4 and 3. Elbows close to the sides of the body for 2 and final 1. Oh my goodness. Let's stretch. And in fact, if you'd like to, you can bring your hands into a prayer position on your upper back and just stretch a little bit more deeply. Holding it here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. We're going to elevate ourselves up and move into position for our core work. So you have the option of putting the ankle weights on your ankles or not using them at all. So obviously the ankle weights are going to make it a lot more intense on those abs. So if you're a beginner, some of these ab moves, it's hard for me to say right now, can be very challenging, and I would honestly recommend not using the ankle weights if you're starting off and you really want to focus on your form. But if you're feeling strong and you work out with me with ankle weights often, be my guest. Okay, so from here, we're going to take our hands behind the head, head rests heavy in the hands, and we're going to start off just by bringing one knee in. We're focusing on bringing the right knee in. We're peeling head, neck, and shoulders up off the mat and pressing the low back into the floor as we curl and crunch up. Good. Bringing the knee in toward the forehead. Notice I'm not fully lowering my foot down to the mat. I'm keeping the heel elevated up off the floor. Good. Really contracting belly button deeply in toward the spine for 3 and 2, abs in, and final 1. Let's repeat that on the opposite side. Good. Bringing the knee in, keeping those hips even on the mat, pressing the low back into the floor as you curl and crunch up. Good work. Let's go 7, 6, 5, abs in for 4, 3, and final 1. Good. Now from this position, we're going to bring both knees in toward the chest, and we're going to extend one leg out long as we curl and crunch up. Extend the opposite leg out long as we curl and crunch up. So we're switching from side to side. Full extension of the leg. Now, if it's too much lifting head, neck, and shoulders, you can keep head, neck, and shoulders down on the mat and really focus on flattening the back into the floor as you extend those legs out. Really pointing through the toes so you're working the leg muscles at the same time. Good. You should really feel that core engaging and working hard. Let's go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now we're going to bring the knees in, bring the elbows in, tap the elbows and the knees, and extend the legs. Tap elbows and knees and extend the legs. If the full extension is too much, you can tap the toes down to the mat, keeping the heels lifted, and then curl and crunch up. Keeping the knees bent the entire time. Otherwise, we're going into this challenging variation. Even if you're not extending the legs and you're just tapping the toes down to the mat, trust me, you're gonna feel that in your deep core as well. So don't worry about moving on to the highest level of challenge. Just focus on really pulling that navel tightly in toward the spine. Again, working the deep core. We're working the center of the abs here. Working those lower abs as you lift the tailbone up off the mat. Let's go 5 and 4 for 3 and 2. And final 1. Let's lower it down for a moment, hugging the knees in toward the chest. Good work. Okay, from here, we're going to lower one foot down and extend the other leg. So I'd like you to bend the leg and extend the leg, either holding on behind your thigh or your calf if you have the flexibility to do so. And let's just focus on deep lengthening up the back of the leg. And final 1, and lower. Now we're going to stretch the other side. We're preparing for the single straight leg stretch, and I want to make sure that we're feeling really long so we can glide those legs through the air as smoothly as possible. Bending and extending for 2. And on our last one, we're going to catch and hold that leg. Now we're going to extend the other leg out long. Lengthen through both legs. Imagine your legs like scissors as you switch them in the air. Head, neck, and shoulders can be down on the mat or elevated into a crunch. If you're in your crunch, your head is resting on top of your shoulders and your gaze is looking out between your thighs. Good. Nice smooth movement as you slice those legs through the air. Good. Let's go 10, 9, 8. Keep those toes pointed. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the legs down. Roll over onto your left side. And we're going to focus on our obliques here. So I'd like you to position your forearm so it's parallel with the top of the mat. We're going to lift up into a full side plank like so. And if that's too challenging, I want you to lower the leg down, keeping it bent. I'm going to start off with my lower leg bent. I'm going to pull my elbow and knee in toward each other. And as I do so, I'm going to really focus on contracting the obliques, keeping that lower hip lifted, driving elbow and knee together. Lift that lower hip a little bit higher. Let's go 9 and 8, cinching in that waistline. 6, 5, amazing work. 3, lift up a little higher through that lower hip. 2, and final 1. Okay, now you have the option of keeping both legs together like this for our side plank crunches, or extending just the top leg, or extending both legs together. I'm going to extend both legs together. I'm making sure that I've got that nice flat line with the body. If your knees are bent, if your legs are extended, you're gonna lower and lift, lower and lift. Good, little side crunches here. I'm really shaking. If you want to challenge yourself even more, you can lift that top leg. Good. Otherwise, just keeping those legs together as you lift and lower. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold, hold, hold. Shake, shake, shake for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Whew. I am trembling. Okay, so we're going to extend that right leg and fold over to the right side, just stretching through that left side body. Breathing deeply here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to switch sides. So we're starting off in our full side plank, or with that lower leg bent like I'm doing. I'm going to move myself down a little bit. Make sure that your forearm is parallel with the top of your mat. Lift and lengthen and really focus on those obliques holding you in that stable side plank position. Pulling elbow and knee together with power and energy. Lifting that lower hip up. Working through that shake by breathing deeply in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's go 7. Lift a bit higher through that lower hip. Last 4, 3, 2, and final 1. Good. Now position yourself in whatever variation of side plank you're doing, knees bent, legs straight, top leg lifted if you want that extra level of challenge, lowering and lifting. Pulling that waistline in with every lift. Lift a bit higher. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, belly to spine for 2, and final 1, and lower down. Woo. Okay, stretch and lengthen over to that left side, stretching through your right side body for 5, 4, reach a bit further, and 1. Good work. Okay, now we're going to move into position for our final 3 ab exercises, and we're going to work through these exercises on our forearms. So we've got our elbows below our shoulders, forearms are parallel. We are pressing the mat away, engaging the core so that we're supporting the back. No pressure in the lower back. We're bringing the legs, oh my goodness, I need to catch my breath. We're bringing the legs into a tabletop position. We're starting off just alternating one leg and the other leg, lengthening through the toes as we breathe out. Now tighten that core as you breathe out. This is the time that you really want to be envisioning that core set, because it is not only helping you to work your core, but also support your lower back. No slumping here. And if you start slumping, push yourself up through those elbows and open across the chest. Good. Now we're going to hold it here and pick up the pace. Abs in. Breathing through it. Press up through those elbows. Good. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to bring those legs and hold them in tabletop. And then from there, we're going to go into some extensions. So we're going to extend the right leg so it's parallel with the mat and lift the left. Bring it back to tabletop and then opposite. Extend left leg, lift right. So these are L extensions, tabletop extensions, or expansions rather. So you're in tabletop and then you're expanding into the shape of a capital L with those legs. Good. Focus on lengthening and again, pulling the belly button in as you expand the legs. Inhale back to tabletop. Exhale, expand. These are tough. Press up through those elbows. You're doing great. We've got 4, final stretch. 3, work those lower abs for 2. And final 1, and lower both legs down to the mat. Scooch back if you need space and fold over. Reaching toward those toes, grabbing hold of the calves, the ankles, or the feet, whatever you can reach, and pulling yourself down into a deep back body stretch. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great work. Let's bring ourselves up and we're going to remove the ankle weights. If you're wearing them, feels really good to have them off. And we're going to move into some nice deep stretches. So I'd like you to roll down onto your back, and we're going to bring the knees in toward the chest and just circle the knees in opposite directions, opening up in the hips, massaging the lower back on the mat, and just focusing on bringing the breathing back into a nice controlled in through the nose and slowly out through the mouth. Good. Feels really good to massage the spine on the mat and start to regulate that breathing pattern for 2 and final 1. And now we're going to bring the legs in and bring the soles of the feet together. And when we do that, we're pressing as much as possible our low back into the mat and stretching out the inner thighs. If this is really uncomfortable for you to do from on your back, you can also sit up and bring those heels in toward the midline of your body, stretching out the inner thighs. Let's hold it here for a moment. Breathing deeply in through the nose and slowly out through the mouth. Holding it here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to bring the right leg over the left, interlace the fingers, take them behind the left thigh, and just hug that left knee in toward the chest to stretch out the glutes on the right side. Again, concentrating on pressing the lower back into the mat so that we can feel that lengthening feeling in the lumbar spine as we stretch the glutes and the hips. Cooling down the body, and let's switch sides, crossing the left leg over the right, interlacing those fingers, taking them behind the right thigh, and hugging that knee in. Try to relax the muscles in the face. Try to relax the shoulders. Again, focusing on the breath and that lengthening feeling in the muscles. And that feeling of pride and accomplishment in that you've just finished a really tough and effective workout. Okay, from here, we're going to take the hands behind the thighs and gently roll up to a seated position. And from here, we're going to extend the left leg out long, bringing the inner thigh in toward, bringing the foot in toward the inner right thigh. And we're just going to reach toward that foot, lengthening through the side body, pulling yourself down, and if it feels good, you can reach up and over with that arm as well. I want you to keep both bum cheeks down on the floor here, so you can really feel that lengthening feeling from your hip all the way through the side body and into the hamstrings. Flex your foot, pulling your toes back towards your shin, and then reach a bit further, continuing to deepen that stretch. Being mindful of any tight areas and breathing into those spots. Reach a bit further for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift it up. And then we're going to switch sides, extending that right leg. And then reaching toward that right side with the right hand. Good, lengthening, feeling that stretch in the leg. And then if you want to add in that arm extension, you can do that, keeping your hips even on the mat. Reach back. Good, flex that foot, pulling the toes toward the shin and reach a bit further. Breathing deeply, breathing into that side body. Feels nice to have a good extended stretch. Sometimes we're rushed or we can't fit it in, and it feels really good to take the time to properly cool down the body. Good, we're gonna lift up, and now we're gonna focus on stretching out the triceps. So we're gonna lift the right arm up, fold the right arm, and then gently pull back on that right elbow with the left fingers. Sitting up nice and tall as we do so. I always really like to stretch out my triceps after working them so hard. It feels really good, that lengthening feeling through the back of the arm. We're stretching some really tight areas. And then we're going to switch sides, pulling back on that opposite elbow. I have another workout coming up soon. It will be a live workout and it'll be available to my members. So if you haven't already signed up for my membership, it is such a great way to stay consistent this fall because we're going to be working out together live each week. Extra bonus workouts for the members. You can join by clicking the join button under this video. Let's take the right arm across the shoulder or on my channel homepage. Give it a try. I'd love to see you in my live workouts with me. And you can always request things that you'd like to be included in those workouts as well. Stretching out the shoulder now. And then switching sides, stretching out the opposite shoulder. You can lock the arm in like this or just press it with the back of your hand towards your chest, whatever feels more comfortable. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. And let's just roll out the shoulders now, shrugging away tension in the upper body. Rolling the shoulders down and back. For 3, and 2, open through the chest as you roll down and back. And final 1, melting away tension and setting yourself up with beautiful posture. Thank you so much for joining me. That was a long, full-length class, so well done for your commitment. Thank you so much for joining me every week for the lives if you already are, and I look forward to seeing you on the mat soon. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and tune in for more workouts. I will see you again soon, guys. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day.